Alright guys, in this video I'm going to talk about cold traffic versus warm traffic and what you need to know about this when running any kind of marketing, whether that's SEO, Google ads, Facebook ads, email, anything like that. This is a general principle that is very important when it comes to marketing, so you need to be aware of it. Now, firstly, what is cold traffic? And then I'll go into what is warm traffic and we'll go from there. So cold traffic, first of all, refers to people who are not aware of whatever it is that you're selling, or you if you're selling a service. So let's say, for instance, if you were to email somebody random and try and offer a service to them or their business, that would be cold traffic. They don't know who you are. They don't know what your service is. They don't know anything about you. They might know what the service is. Let's say if it's SEO, they might be aware of that concept. But overall, they don't know who you are, what you're offering, etc., etc. That would be referred to as cold traffic. Now, I'm going to go into how this is a sliding scale and there's different elements to this and different levels of cold and warm. We'll go into that a little bit later. But basically, the point is that somebody who is not aware of what you are offering is what's considered cold. So now that would include, like I mentioned, cold email, cold DMs. That's why they're called cold. You could also argue that Facebook ads traffic, or even organic traffic, something like TikTok. So any kind of display ad basically is showing to cold traffic. And the reason they're cold traffic is because they don't know about you and what you're offering as such, or your product. So they're completely cold. They don't know what it is. Now, warm traffic refers to people who are at least aware of your things. So let's say YouTube subscribers would be warm traffic, or otherwise people who have already visited your store or bought from you, previous customers. And I would argue people looking for the product or service, which is what you typically find on Google search. So they would fall, in my opinion, somewhere on the warmer side of the traffic scale. So what's important about this is you need to be very aware of who you are targeting when you are doing your marketing. So you cannot run the same message to cold traffic as you would to warm, and vice versa. Well, mainly, I mean, you could run cold traffic to warm traffic and it might work. It won't work as well, but it might kind of work. So you try and run, let's say, a warm ad, and I'm using orange because it's warm, to cold traffic, it's not going to work. And the reason why is because they don't know what it is. You take a different angle. So for instance, let's say you're trying to sell SEO to somebody who does not even know what SEO is. You would need to do an entirely different ad to the cold traffic than you would the warm traffic, because the warm traffic might already know what SEO is. You don't need to explain it to them. You just need to explain to them why they should use you for SEO rather than somebody else. So it's an entirely different message, and this is why it's so important. So when you're running any kind of marketing, that's why you need to be aware of this. So let's say, for instance, Facebook ads versus Google ads is a prime example of cold versus warm traffic, in that on Facebook, people do not know who you are or what the product might be, unless it's a product that's well known, but we'll just ignore that for the time being. So what happens is you basically need to sell them on what the product is and why they even need it in order to actually get them to purchase the product from you. So people looking for the product, they're already looking for the product. So they know what it is already and they want to buy it. You only just need to convince them why they should buy from you. And so that's the core difference here, because that's going to be a very, very different message. So an example of that would be like, let's say on Facebook, let's say you're selling a particular type of men's running shoe. You might potentially need to explain to them why they even need running shoes in the first place. You see what I mean? So your ad would have to be like, do you do running? Here are the benefits of buying a running shoe. And you would have to explain why they even need a running shoe before trying to sell them your specific running shoe. Whereas with Google, they're already searching for running shoes. They know they need them already. You just need to sell them on your specific running shoe or buying from you specifically. And so the message is very, very different. So the point I'm wanting to make in this video is that you need to be acutely aware of who you are messaging and what kind of traffic it is in order to actually sell to them correctly, so that they actually buy from you and you can market it correctly. So I hope that gives you a good idea of the difference between warm traffic and cold traffic and why this is important to know when you're running any kind of marketing. What you need to be aware of when it comes to cold traffic and warm traffic is that this is a sliding scale. It's not a clear line where cold and where warm is. So what I mean by that is Facebook ad users, let's say this is the graph and it goes from warm to cold. Unfortunately, this tool doesn't let me do a blend, but let's say it goes like that. A Facebook user might fall anywhere from like here all the way to like, let's say here. Because the reason why is if they're already interested in a particular topic, you might catch the people who are interested in a particular topic. Like let's say I was saying you're trying to sell SEO to someone, you might catch some, let's say, business owners who know what SEO is versus some that don't. But the problem is you're dealing with that range here that it could be either way. And so you need to also consider that when you're writing your ad, who are you trying to target? Is it the ones who completely don't even know, or is it the ones who know a little bit? So it is a sliding scale that you need to be aware of. Same thing with Google search as well. If somebody is searching what are running shoes, that's a pretty cold target, and they would fit somewhere over here, if not even over here. They're demonstrating a bit of interest, but they're like way back over here because they don't even know really what it is. They're probably not in the stage of buying yet. And then you have some people who are just searching a specific brand or model of shoe who want to buy it right now. They're literally right here on like the hottest possible that you could get because they want to buy it now. They're just looking for the best shop to buy it from. So you need to be aware of this scale and where your customers or clients actually sit on the scale so that you can target them directly. Now, there's one other point I want to make, which is specific to Google search and any search platform, is that there's obviously a search intent involved with this as well. And that kind of plays into the warmth of the traffic. So I use the example of what are running shoes over here. That person's search intent is not commercial. So they are not really at the buying stage yet. They're at the informational stage, trying to educate themselves about what the thing even is before they buy it. So if you have a scale, let's say I'll draw a new scale, and you've got from informational here all the way to transactional, which is someone ready to buy, they would probably fit, like I said, somewhere over here because they're looking for information about what the thing even is. And then the person looking for the specific model of the specific running shoe to buy, it would be right here, which is fully on the transactional side. So there's obviously a range in here where people fall depending on their search query on Google, but this is the range, and it basically coincides with the cold warmth graph above. It ultimately does. So that's something to consider as well. When you're running search marketing, you need to be aware of the search intent as well, because it does play into that when it comes to targeting the right people. If you have any questions about any of this, put this in the comments below and I will answer them. Otherwise, if you'd like me to coach you on how to do SEO and Google ads for only $49 a month, go to learndominatemarketing.com. And if you'd like us to do the SEO or Google ads for your business and get you results, go to dominatemarketing.io, book a call with us there. Catch you on the next one.